Okay.
Here's question number 2 about Easter. Jim got that last one right. According to the book of Matthew, when the women arrived at the tomb, it was still sealed. But according to Mark, Luke, and John, when they arrived at the tomb, it was already open. Question number 2. Who was at the tomb when the women arrived to visit it?
Which line? Line 3. Joseph in California. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. I did have an answer to your question.
All right.
Okay.
Going over the Gospels, I'm an atheist, and after I finally lost faith...
I think all the Christians are in church today, and that's why they're not calling us.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
And also, I've noticed from past experience on this show, anytime you come prepared to talk about some, Bible contradiction issue or anything, and you clearly are ready to talk about it, they don't call. It's a fact.
Oh, well.
Go on.
That means that we atheists get to say what the Bible means today. Goody.
That's awesome. So go on.
Well, I actually started reading the Bible. One of the reason I lost faith was because the Bible condoned slavery. And after that did it. I just couldn't dance around it anymore. But anyways, I studied the Gospels to see if there are some contradictions in the New Testament, and I found many of them. And the ones I was most proud of was the situation you're talking about when they go to the tomb, who was already there. I think in one of them it said there were 2 Roman soldiers there, and then there was some sort of earthquake, and the stone got rolled aside, and the soldiers fell unconscious or something, or ran away. And then in another, it said no one was
hey,
there.
Joseph, let's not get ahead of ourselves, because we might have questions related to those other things. We're limited right now to just who's there, not what happens after they see who's there.
All right, sorry.
Else we might not be able to ask our other questions later.
Very sorry.
Spoilers.
And there was, I think, they saw Jesus, and another one they saw Jesus there, and he said something to them, and another one they saw one angel there sitting on top of the rock, and another 1 or 2 angels inside of the tomb.
Yeah. You're doing this from memory, right?
Yeah.
You're like a little bit off on every single one of those. But in point of fact, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John all give completely different answers to this question.
Yeah.
Along the lines of the things that you just said, right? But it's a different situation every single story, every single version of the story. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay,
is that all you got?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Thank you for taking my call. Have a
Thanks
nice
for
day.
calling, Joseph.
Happy Easter. Goodbye.
We've got an Austin caller next, and then I'd like to make another comment about the resurrection story after we take Al in Austin, who I believe wants to answer some more of your questions, or at least the last one. I'm sorry, but Joseph seems to have stolen your thunder. But are you there, Al?
I'm here.
Hi.
Well, my answer to that question was the Archangel Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
That's it? That's your answer?
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might fit with the book of Matthew, which says that there was an angel there.
Okay.
None of the other books, none of the other 4 books, Mark, Luke, or John, specify angels. They talk about, one says, Matthew says 1 angel, John says 2 angels, Mark says a young man, and Luke says 2 men.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason I guessed Archangel Gabriel is because the Archangel Gabriel seems to be the spokesman of God. Seems to be the one that appears to believe the Archangel Gabriel appears to Muhammad and perhaps Abraham.
Bear in mind that this was written like 700 years before there was a Muhammad.
Right.
Well, it's an angel.
And I could be totally
still
wrong
around
about
700 years later.
I have it in my brain.
Yeah. It does not.
I'm just saying that the fictional stuff in the Bible doesn't necessarily relate to the fictional stuff in the Quran, except to the extent that the Quran is homage.
And it's interesting speculation, Al, but in fact, point of fact, none of the 4 books that carry this story identify either the
Oh, okay.
men or angels by name.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah.
But, you
like
know,
I said,
Christians feel free to stick stuff in the Bible that's not actually there in order to reconcile
Sure.
stuff like this, so I don't see any reason why you can't do it too. Sure, it was Gabriel.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying. I was just thinking, you know, there's a strain that goes between all the monotheistic religions. I mean, that they all three of the major monotheistic religions all have a common, I guess.
Well, that's no surprise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's strains running through Christianity that come from polytheistic religions.
Right,
Both
right.
before and after it that it ran into later.
Right.
Yeah,
The religions swipe
Christianity,
stuff from one another all the damn time.
Christianity is an evolutionary branch off of Judaism, and Islam is another evolutionary branch. So
Right.
it's no surprise that we see similarities between them.
Right. Like today's holiday, Easter, swiped from the pagans.
Right. And like Islam was, you know, well, first there was Judaism, and then there was Christianity, and then the last of the great monotheistic religions is Islam. And they, you know, everything kind of gets borrowed
big.
from the previous, you know, the previous religion.
Sure.
And then also
Joseph
from
Smith.
paganistic.
Joseph Smith, when he invented Mormonism,
Dum, dum, dum.
made reference to Islam and was calling himself like the new Muhammad.
Right. And to me, that just kind of proves how man has developed religion, and that there's no God out there. There's never been a God. There's
Yeah, well,
never-
if I can play Jesus as advocate again for a second, just because...
Wrong.
Yes. Just because there are fraudulent religions doesn't logically demonstrate that all religions are fraudulent. It's kind of like this example of James, the Amazing Randy, showing how you can bend spoons like Uri Geller, and he said, well, you know, just because I can bend spoons using sleight of hand doesn't mean that Uri Geller doesn't have magic powers. It's just that if he's bending the spoons by magic, then he's doing it the hard way. Same thing with the religions. They might be supernaturally inspired, but we already know that people can make stuff up and turn it into a big religion.
Right. And to me, that's the essential point, is that religion is pretty much man-made. I mean, humans developed it. If humans didn't die, and if humans didn't believe in magic, I don't think there would be religion. That's what kind of how I feel about it.
I
But
think you'd find we tend to agree.
Yep.
okay, all right. But anyway, I just thought I'd give it a shot at trying to answer that
Thanks, Al.
question. So, and
No
like your
cracker for
show,
you, I'm afraid, but but good try.
appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for
Bye.
calling.